After machinery mechanisms, livestock-related injuries and fatalities rank number one for teens. Due to the size and power of livestock, crushing is always a major concern. A mature bull can weigh as much as a car. The age and behavior of both the animal and handler can contribute to the risk level when working with large animals. Getting livestock handling experience is important and will reduce risks when herding, handling, feeding, or treating animals on the farm. Grazing animals have their eyes on the sides of their heads rather than on the front like humans. This means they can generally see at wide angles around them, but they have a blind spot behind their hindquarters. Any movement into this area will make the animal uneasy and nervous. When working with animals, try not to stand in or move through their blind spots. Animals feel stress when they can hear and smell you, but cannot see you. This can cause them to charge or bolt. Try to approach and herd cattle and horses at an angle. Most veterinarians and other animal handlers approach from the left side, so animals tend to be calmer if you do the same. Keeping light at a consistent level can reduce the hesitation that many animals experience when being moved from bright light through or into a shadowed area. Grazing animals have a reflective covering in the eye that allows them to see with very little light. Changes in light intensity will be much more noticeable to these animals. Move livestock from light to light, not light to dark or dark into bright light. When animals are moving into the unknown, they may become frightened and stressed. Just like humans, animals have their own personal space called a flight zone. If you're getting too close to animals, you can cause pressure within their flight zone. The animals become uncomfortable and will move away from you. How far the animal moves from you before they feel comfortable again is known as flight distance. Flight zone and flight distance knowledge can be used to gently move animals to a desired location. But if you enter the flight zone too quickly, behavior like bolting or charging can occur. Always be cautious if you're working around large animals with young. Protective maternal instincts can cause mothers with young to become defensive. Learn to recognize a mother's warning signals. If a mother must be moved, let her young stay close during the process. This will reduce stress for the animal and injury hazards for the handlers. Mother cows, sows, mares, dogs, and even humans can seem pretty mean when concerned for their young, so be extra careful. Male animals are naturally superior and aggressive. This is shown by actions that differ from female, young, or newborn animals. Their extra bulk and aggressive nature make even a small collision with handlers hazardous. Mature bulls and large horses often weigh as much as a small car. Male animals' strong territorial instinct, natural aggression, extra size, and fighting tools like horns, hoofs, and spurs mean all handlers should constantly be alert, never turning their back on them. Handler incidents involving bulls are very often fatal. Bulls have an enormous amount of power. Animals have much better hearing than humans, with the ability to hear 12 times softer sounds. Banging gates and clanging equipment are louder to farm animals and may increase stress and cause behaviors such as reluctance to move toward the sound or an effort to bolt away from the sound. Try to keep sorting and working areas as quiet as possible and speak in low, calm tones when working with livestock. How a handler gestures, talks, and behaves will affect how livestock react. Everyone who works with livestock should control sudden movements and fast motions or gestures. Make sure you're old enough for the task at hand.
No, I'm not. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
If you do not feel comfortable with the job given to you, it's okay to speak up. When forcing any animal into chute, pen, or any unusual environment, they can become skittish and agitated. Animals often balk at shadows, sudden movement, very bright light, or at changes in flooring or color. They tend to hesitate to walk over changes in surface textures like ramps, drains, gates, hoses, or puddles. Animals being moved and loaded for transport need special consideration. Allow them time to adjust to differences in lighting, surfaces, and surroundings. They may stand still and lower their heads. This enables them to better judge depth. Animals unsure of their footing have increased levels of stress. When loading and unloading, traction can be improved by putting down straw, shavings, or sand. Rubber mats are also effective. If an animal has a change in temperament, decides to switch direction, or acts threatening, the handler must have a plan to get to safety. An escape route is a place to go, to climb, to hide behind, or to move into that gives the handler a secure, safe location until the animal settles down or is moved away. People of any age can easily be crushed by a charging animal. Remember to keep your gestures and voice calm to lower animal stress. Try to stay out of blind spots and approach animals at an angle. Gates and fences can be especially dangerous as cows and pigs have poor depth perception, ability to judge distances between objects. Because of this, they sometimes misjudge, then think they can force their way through. The mass of an animal or a number of animals together can cause planks to break, metal to bend, and gate latches to release suddenly. If this happens and you do not get out of the way, you can be pinned, trampled, or crushed. When manning gates, it's always better to let the animal go past you than to be trampled or crushed when the animal pushes on the gate. Never put yourself in a position where you could get caught between the fence and the gate. In any part of livestock handling system, sharp protrusions are a hazard to handlers and livestock and should be removed or repaired. Many animals have a strong territorial instinct and tend to get very comfortable with familiar surroundings, such as pastures, buildings, feed bunks, water troughs, and paths. When moving livestock into any unusual environment, you can expect them to change their normal behavior. They will often act confused and nervous. Handlers can stimulate aggression by not allowing enough area for animals, not giving enough time for the animals to move, or by using harsh handling methods. Remember to keep your gestures and your voice calm to lower animal stress. An important part of planning and preparing to prevent livestock-related injuries and fatalities is to know and understand the warning signals of animal aggression and anxiety. Watch for these signals: raised or flattened ears, raised or rapidly lashing tail, quick erratic movements, pawing the ground, rolling eyes, stiff-legged gait or posture, snorting, tossing of head, climbing onto the back of other animals to escape, making distressed or unusual calls. A few other livestock handling safety points to consider are: when working with livestock, always work with another person. Always know where you are in relation to your escape route. Plan your actions, then when an animal charges, your legs can start running and your brain can catch up with you when you're safe. Respect the size of animals you're working with. A 1,200-pound horse or an 1,800-pound bull will always win against frail human bone and tissue. While some livestock behavior may be predictable, handlers should always plan and prepare for unpredictable behavior, as many livestock actions and reactions are directly related to instinctive behavior patterns or sensory characteristics. The handling of livestock on the farm can be done safely by respecting the animal's perspective and through planning, preparation, and teamwork.